back next week? Can we talk through lunch? Can you read another story to me? Can I show you another math problem? This was all between 9 and 1 o'clock. A very limited time. The experience has gone on beyond what the 40 of us have done, and look forward to working in the future. So thank you. Would you like me to do the video?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Quickly just say a few words. I want to also thank Lisa Chapman and thank Nancy Kislin, because as Lisa said, this started with many phone calls right after the storm when Councilwoman Jen Nicolay put us in touch with Nancy, and it eventually evolved into this conversation that went on for months between Lisa Chapman and David Holman, our superintendent, and myself. And what started as a lot of seeds of conversation about what can we do and what will benefit the students in the communities of Belmar and Lake Como turned into a very inspirational day on May 11th. And we wound up with almost one-to-one tutors for students in grades K to 3. And although we set up a framework for what the students would be doing with literacy and math, I think what you'll see, I haven't seen the slideshow yet, but I think what you'll see, because I've seen some of the pictures, was something that evolved into a very organic day of mentoring and relationships between adults and students. And I think that the adults got as much as the students got out of it. So with that said, I'd like for Lisa to be able to show you the video. Thank you again, and thank you for letting us speak tonight.
Can we put the lights down a little bit? Do you think it would be helpful? This is an iMovie. Maybe I can. You guys see with this? I don't know what I'm put it down. Warm up a little bit. So it's about 5 minutes.
I just want to kind of give my view of what had happened. I did come really the last hour of mentoring day, and I wasn't aware of a lot of emails or if we were getting a lot of tutors or a lot of students, and because it was Saturday, I'm sorry.
It was Saturday.
It was a Saturday, and I know people were still kind of getting things together and back in order because of the storm. I didn't anticipate a huge outcome. I expected 5, 10 people, maybe 20 total in the room. And when I walked in, I woke up, and I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, my jaw dropped when I saw the number of people and students, and again, the smiles on the faces, their conversations. It was very touching. It was great.
And it was amazing. We had people drive all the way from Poughkeepsie coming down here. We had people from New York City, people throughout New Jersey. I mean, even though many of us don't live in your vicinity, reading what happened to you all with Hurricane Sandy broke all our hearts. And it was, organizing something was easy. And you organize, people come, and they want to come back. And people who couldn't come want to participate on the monthly program. So we want to really create a viable, but it's really the administration to help us. We're not teachers or educators, but we're here to help what they need. And we provide the volunteers, and then it's just making that personal connection. So we're glad to do it. Let me, are you ready? Wait, hold on. How do we, you guys? You guys hear that? Or should can you hear that? Or should I come on a remote speaker?
Yeah. Or want the microphone?
Oh, I can use the microphone. April, will it help to,
Which one you mean?
shine. You always won't stand behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Beautiful face without a name for someone. Beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. Alright, here we are with Jasmine Brown, public health, right, what year? 2002. Okay. And we're just finishing the Belmar tutoring and mentoring program. Jasmine's gonna make a few comments.
No, thank you. I've participated in a few service days and I've enjoyed them all. And today what I really enjoyed was in the tutoring aspect, I enjoyed seeing where the children, it was interesting to see where they acknowledge their strengths in the work. I got a chance to see where they found their limitations and where they sort of shut down a little bit, but when they lightened up, when they were in touch with a subject that they felt very confident in. And for me, since I don't have a background in education and childhood development, I think it was a good practical learning experience to see how children respond to their strengths and their both their strengths and their limitations. And I think it gives a good insight moving forward in enough people doing the program again to really encourage students to certainly reward them when they acknowledge their strengths, but to give them even more encouragement when they find limitations.
Yes, this is your third day of service?
Yes, it is.
And why do you serve?
Serving because I was offered so many opportunities growing up, and I feel that I'm obligated to space it forward.
That's great. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you on Day of Service 2014.
Absolutely.
Belmar. I'm the clinical mental health counseling department at King University, and as a counselor, I want to come. There's nothing else to do. This is what we do.
Since I also became I'm doing my master's in clinical mental health counseling, and I came today because as counselors we have to be advocates.
I'm Ashley Briggs, and I'm also taking counseling and mental health. And I came because I have a love and enjoyment for little children.
So how did you guys find this day?
It was great. It was put together. It was perfect. You know, I couldn't ask for a better situation. You know, it wasn't that difficult to get down here. And
And what did you do with the students?
what we did was work with language arts, English, some reading, and we also did some math. And it was to their grade. We worked with K to 3, their grade. And it was a blow-up. I have to say. I'll take it too.
I'm very impressed with these kids. Some of them are like advanced for their grade level, really. I had a kindergarten count of some
Wow. Wow.
My little one, he has such great enthusiasm and he loves to read. He says, I love reading and math, so we read most of the books like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, that's good.
That was a good thing for him.
That's
He
good.
read to me.
That's good.
Her name's Emily. She's in kindergarten, so she's 5 years old. She wants to go to Sierra and she's in kindergarten. She went through the literacy tutoring and the math tutoring. She's so smart and bright for her age. And so are most of the kids. And, you know, it's good if we get to help each other out.
Okay, well, I hope to see you in the future. Sandra,
Chinese parents.
Yeah.
And as a teacher, providing the students mental health is really important. For the parents, though, just think how valuable their support at home is to teachers and their kids. And without them, you know, we can't do our jobs. So it was great. It was great to get to talk to them.
So I just did this yesterday, so I'm not okay. I actually did it again. The one I gave you doesn't have the music in the background of the video. I actually hit the wrong button. So,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know we hate photos.
I know, but compared to you. Next on our agenda is going to be our public bidding for paddleboard leases at Ferry Park. If anyone is interested in bidding on this, please come up to the microphone. Thank you. All right. Our minimum bid on this is $500. Would you like to bid $500 to provide paddleboard lessons at the Ferry Park?
Yes, please.
Would you like to bid any higher than $500?
No.
All right. Seeing no other bids, congratulations.
Sweet.
Sean operates the surf camp on 3rd Avenue. He's been doing it for how many years now?
8.
8
years in Belmar.
Does a phenomenal job, outstanding service, so I'm sure he'll do as good a job at the Ferry Park, so thank you.
Oh, yeah. Every week. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good luck, Sean. Hey, Sean, when are you going to start? Tomorrow. Paddleboard.
Tomorrow, 7 a.m. We'll start most likely June 24th. That's a Monday. That's when a lot of people, all the kids are in school. Yeah. If anybody wants to come earlier, let us know.
Great. Good luck, Sean.
Thank you.
Next, our workshop discussion. Chefs International is not going to be here tonight. They're going to come on the 19th, June 19th. So we're taking off the workshop discussion. Next is our bonfire rules amendments. Colleen, would you like to walk us through this, or Councilman McGovern, would you like to chime in, because I know you worked on these as well.
Right. Well, last year we had many bonfires on the beach, and it got to be a problem, especially with the cleanup. And something needed to be done, so I sat down with the Special Events Committee and followed some of the ideas of some of the people that contacted me about how to better prepare for the bonfires. And we have a whole list here, which will, I think, make the bonfires more manageable. There will be fewer of them. I'm reading our regulations right here, and I don't see dates and times. I do specifically remember that we wanted the bonfires from October 1st to May 15th. No bonfires during June, July, or August. Simply because a bonfire, it's going to get dirty. And even though we can clean it up better than we did last year, you can't clean it up better than if you don't have a fire. And June, July, and August, that's when we ask the people to come down to the beach. I don't think the people have a right to have a bonfire. It's a privilege. And I think we should require, we should be the ones to determine when they're held. So with this regulation right here, I would like to add in bonfires only from October 1st through May 15th. None during June, July, or August. The other requirements, I'm happy with. So, you know, with that being said, I think, you know, we've had a moratorium. We haven't had any bonfires, or at least we shouldn't have had any bonfires since last year. There should not have been any this year yet. Because there's been a moratorium on it. So I'd like to hear from the other council members how you feel about the regulations here, and with the dates of October 1st through May 15th as the only time for the bonfires on the beach.
I think probably the most popular time to have them would be in the summer. The change that this makes regarding how often is no more than one bonfire permit issued per week. It's a Monday through Sunday week. So if someone did on a Friday night, someone wouldn't be allowed on a Saturday. Someone did on a Saturday or permitted, and they wouldn't be allowed on a Sunday or that Friday. So I am out to respectfully disagree with Councilman McGovern regarding keeping them only from October 1 to May 15th. And I think that, you know, last year they kind of got out of hand because we had so many authorized and unauthorized. What the changes do here is they limit them to 1 a week. They also increase the application fee and the security deposit so that if there is any cleanup, and Councilman McGovern mentioned there usually is, that would be covered as well. So it's not going to put a strain on our Department of Public Works. But the changes that we have for us today limit it to 1 bonfire a week, but does not limit it to a certain time of year.
It's better than what we had, but still, I like the idea of October 1st through May 15th. Also, anybody that has a bonfire without a permit, I would really like, especially the first, I'm sure there will be people that will just go down there and start a fire thinking they can do it to get fined, you know, a heavy fine, to send a message.
Totally agree with that. And I also think that there are certain organizations that schedule bonfires well in advance, and you know, it's not, you know, Matt and a couple of his friends or the, you know, with whatever we bring to the beach and coolers. But, you know, it's a well-organized event by, you know, organizations in town that have been doing it for years on end. So, you know, and again, most of them are during the summer months for, you know, kind of obvious reasons.
I respectfully disagree with that. When I was recreation director for 28 years, we had no bonfires. So if there have been bonfires, they've only been the last couple of years. So really, bonfires on the beach, permit-wise, is new.
Right, I would guess they were done without permit.
Well, I don't, if they were done, I don't know what the police did, but the recreation department, fire department never issued any permits for 28 years, from 1979 to 2005. So anything that's been going on recently is new. Sure, people would love to have the bonfires during June, July, and August, but people love to go down to the beach the next morning. I don't know.
If I could offer. One of our recommendations certainly came that there was limited to one per week, Monday through Sunday, to reduce the number. Two, it was the addition of requiring a special event application which requires a $100 fee. So that if the site is left unseemly or unclean the next day, the security deposit and all fees would be held, which roughly offsets the cost of our DPW. So that was the main concern. The last thing I'd like to offer is that we are recently the proud owners of a new beach rake that has a finer sieve on the screen, which allows for a greater cleaning of the sand. So all of these factors together helps really bolster my recommendation for these changes.
All right, any other council?
Well,
members?
we have a real big bonfire with, I think, St. Rose High School. And if anybody knows, high school students attract other high school students. And I don't think that's a good thing to do to the neighborhood down there. I know St. Rose has a big piece of property out there in Wall Township where there's soccer fields, baseball fields. I would think if they would want a bonfire, that's an ideal place because they don't interfere with anybody's neighborhood. All the houses around 1st, 2nd, 3rd Avenue. Just simply, if we're gonna have a bonfire, let's have a manageable number. I mean, you're talking about high school with a couple hundred students who have friends in other high schools who come down. I did see last year when they were coming, the high school kids throwing footballs across Ocean Avenue from the boardwalk to the sidewalk. I think we're just asking trouble if we have a high school bonfire.
You know, Councilman Go brings up a good point. Do we have a limit on the number of people attending a bonfire?
No, we have a limit on the size of the fire. We do not have a limit on the number of people.
You want to put a limit on the number of attendees?
I don't know how you can do that. You know, it's a public area. You wouldn't be able to tell high school kids from out of town, you can't come onto the beach. It's public beach. So I don't know how you manage that. I would, you know, like the high school football teams, like Thanksgiving football, when they have a bonfire, I don't think it's on the beach. I don't know where they hold it. I know Manasquan has a big one. Mike, do you know where Manasquan holds a bonfire?
Yeah, it's in the park. It's not on.
You know, St. Rose has that nice piece of property out there in Wall Township. No houses around, or not many. You know, I know I'm going to get letters from people that do live in Farmerville. Yeah. So I don't want to make our problem their problem.
Well, what if we did this? What if we made these changes tonight and see how it works for this summer? And if it's still a problem, you know, we can always adjust it later. If that works.
I can live with that. Give it a year for these regulations, and I'd ask the police department to really scrutinize any large bonfires that are going to be attracting high school age students.
Right, and then come September, October, we look at it again and say, this did work, or this didn't work, it was still a mess,
We'll have to revisit it.
We can definitely do that in the fall, give you a report of the activity and place and all of that.
Mike, how good is this rate that you bought?
Very good. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to pick up every spot, but it goes down to a 1/4 inch of sand. In fact, we've been raking so much, people are already saying the sand feels different down there. It's taken out a lot of shell, the glass, even the sea glass. It's a much finer rake than we had, much finer. So we're hoping to be able to clean up much better.
I have a quick question. When we have bonfires, do we mark where the fire is so that when the next group comes, they have in the exact same spot with the embers?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
We put it in between four, we post 4 pillars, we meet with the fire inspectors, we mark out a spot, and then all of them are supposed to be inside of that. We dig the first pit, and then everything stays there, and we clean up around it.
Can I just throw this out for if we do have to revisit it? We do have movies on the beach. Would it be possible to have a town bonfire where we control the wood, where we control the size of it? And we have our fire department or fire marshal down there, and then people can come to the bonfire. That's, we'll think about that. I mean, I'm sure there'll be, the cost could go to offset the fire department, Goodwill or Union, who's ever down there monitoring the bonfire.
Yeah, I'm sure some nonprofit would be interested in, just like the, show we have nonprofits, some popcorn or other candies and stuff like that. To
And so we could control bonfires at 2nd Avenue Beach on Wednesday nights, and we control the wood, so it's clean. We control the cleanup, since we're gonna have to clean it up anyway. I think that's a way to go.
We could hold our council meetings.
Marshmallows.
I would be voted off the island, Mayor.
All right, any other council questions, comments on the regulations, or are we okay? And like Mr. Council Governor wishes, we'll revisit this right afterwards and keep an eye on it during the process.
So the time frame is that we are going to have a resumption. I kind of agree with Councilman McGovern regarding the time frame. I think everybody likes it clean beach, not the way that, but I just think that maybe in the future we could look for the time frame recommended, because I think it's more of a culture, whether, to me a bonfire is hot chocolate and marshmallows and things like that. But I'll acquiesce with Mayor now. But in the future, I think we should look at a specific time frame. Okay?
I have been to 2 bonfires on the beach, and they were summer, and they were little girls' birthday parties. And I've never seen little girls so thrilled. Parents were extremely responsible. They didn't bring a disco light or alcohol. I do like these regulations. I think there are a lot of them, and I think they're strict, which I think we needed. I do not think it should avoid the summer months. I think, to me, I think of evenings in the summer, not so much the colder months. It's just what I'm used to even when I was growing up. So I would like to see how it goes this season.
I have no problem with year-round, or during the summer months at that. And the one that I've been to, the kids actually went and got in swimming and got out and got on fire. So I don't think you can really do that in November. So I have no problem with summer months.
That's a good thing that you just mentioned. They came out of the water. That's a problem. Dark, no lifeguards on the beach. That's what I'm afraid about the high school kids. Someone gonna go in the water. Whatever.
All right, so to make these changes, do we need, I don't think we need a resolution.
No.
These are just regulations.
They're just internal regulations or ordinances, these regulations.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Council. Next. Our budget. So we're going to be introducing our budget this year, today. It's a little delayed because our CFO and VA have been working through some difficult numbers and working through the state, along with FEMA. It's definitely been a longer process than typical. And I can say happily that for the 3rd year in a row, there will be no property tax increase for the municipality of Belmar. You'll see expenses go up pretty significantly. A lot of that is just dealing with Sandy. It's reimbursable up to 75%. In addition, the Borough of Belmar was granted a $4.4 million community disaster loan. This was something we were I don't want to say encouraged, because it was more than that. We were prodded into applying for and receiving. It's federal money that comes through the state that is a loan that is forgivable up to 98% of the time. So in other words, it's a loan that becomes a grant over time that municipalities don't pay back. Now, when I first heard about this, it seemed too good to be true. And I talked with the mayor in Pastor Cheyenne, Mississippi, who I visited, and he told me that we should take every dollar that is allowable and possible and use it, because it will not be repaid. It will not be required to repay. There's nothing in writing, much like FEMA itself. There's nothing in writing that says it is a grant. But just like FEMA doesn't put anything in writing that is something's guaranteed to be reimbursable, as long as it meets their guidelines, it is reimbursable. Just like that, as long as this meets their guidelines, this loan is forgivable. This will probably be, and hopefully be, the only time in the history of this town that we receive a loan / grant of this type. So some of the highlights to it, we had salary decreases of about 122,000, salary increases of 261. All department expenses decreased 55,000. The insurance increase was 217,000. The public pension increase 62,000. The largest one is debt payment increase. We're increasing our debt payment, our debt service to pay off our debt by $500,000. Other Hurricane Sandy expenditures were 250,000. Let me find where the well, those are the large ones. Now the overall amount of taxes to be collected is actually a decrease of $51,000. So we're going to collect $51,000 less this year than we did last year. Now, I'm not going to say that's a tax cut because it's $51,000 is not a whole lot, and it's not going to last. But the important thing is that the tax rate is exactly the same this year as it was last year. So whatever you pay for your municipal taxes in 2012, you're going to pay in 2013. We're going to have the entire budget online, and it's already up there, according to our CFO. And I would ask the council to review this, to take a look at it, to be very cautious in any increases or decreases, because this is put together and it was quite a balancing act to get it at a zero increase. And I think as glad as we were to have 2 years prior to Sandy of no tax increase, I think this year is equally, if not more, important to the residents, to the taxpayers of the Borough of Belmar, to have no tax increase after all we've been through. So that's going to be on the resolution calendar. But if the council has any questions now, this is just for the authorizing to read it. We're not going to vote on this until July 3rd. Yeah, so we introduce it more or less today, but don't vote on it for just about a month. That's by state statute. We have to do that. In addition, our budget will be audited this year by DCA, so we're up for review for that as well. But again, our CFO has been in close contact with the DCA folks, along with our police department, DPW, and our business administrator, to ensure that this is a balanced budget. Again, while it does have increases in spending, those are offset by revenues that are not property taxes. So while there's an increase in expenditures, there's not an increase in taxes this calendar year. But does the council, well, this is just first reading, so I imagine I'll take questions from the council over the next couple of weeks. If you have any, please talk to our DA, for more specifics than I'll be able to provide. And we'll look to pass this in July. But again, I would caution against any real tinkering with it because it was difficult to get to this balance, to get to a zero tax increase. But happily we're there. So that's what our budget is, or at least the budget introduction. Next, any petitions from anyone in the public? All right, no petitions. I'll ask for approval of the minutes.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting held on May 15, 2013 be approved as recorded, and that a copy thereof be posted on the borough's website.
Second.
Councilman Naggy?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilman Nicolai?
Yes.
Mayor Garrett?
Yes. Next is reports of the council.
Okay. I was at the Harbor Commission meeting the other day. I hate to be the first person to attack your budget, but the Harbor Commission is unanimous in understanding that the supervisor of the marina, Charlie Vanderlyn, is doing a fantastic job over there. But with the work that has to be done at the marina, he needs an extra pair of hands. Someone that is marina experienced, he just can't do it alone. He's a one full-time employee with some seasonal workers. And it's a marina that's a multi-million-dollar operation. I think, especially for this summer, because we are attracting boaters from other marinas that are closed down. And if we do a real good job this year, we get to keep these people. But as of right now, we have, it was explained to me that we have 24-foot boats in 40-foot slips. We need to open up more slips so we can get the bigger boats in and get the 24-foot boats in the slips that they belong in. So really, if he gets another pair of hands that's experienced at marina work, we'll make more money. We'll bring in more money. We'll have a better operation over there. Everyone on the Harbor Commission was unanimous in wishing that if we could find a way to get him an additional employee, not a borrowed employee from DPW, but actually hire someone. The operation from the marina is no longer Memorial Day to Labor Day. It starts in February, goes right to just about the end of December. So he really needs someone to give him a hand. The beach report. Everyone knows that Memorial Day was kind of cold and wet. This past weekend was cold. However, Saturday, June 1st, believe it or not, according to Kevin O'Donnell, who's been doing the beachfront for many, many years and tracking the sale of beach badges, said that Saturday, June 1st, was the second largest grossing day in the last 10 years. So, I mean, the people are coming back. The downside of that is we are still, because of those 2 weekends being slow, we're behind last year, which was a very good summer. But we shouldn't worry. There's many, many weekends to go. If we have nice days, I'm sure it will pick up. So right now, just it's the weather that hurts. Memorial Day weekend and this past weekend. Good news for Silver Lake. The company that we hired, Down to Earth, is working every day, starting to shape up. It looks like they're getting ready to put that cinder path down. The plants that we replanted as a volunteer project in April are growing. They're doing well. Not that I've been able to get over there in a boat, because if you've looked at Silver Lake, another thing that's growing is the algae. And you're looking at it and you're going to say, oh, it's the worst I've ever seen it. Well, probably it's the worst you've seen it in the last 15 years or 20 years. But when I was a teacher at St. Rose Grammar School, and we would bring our gym classes down there, the kid would kick a ball into the lake and it would just sit there on the algae. So, and when I was a boy, my parents had a rowboat where you had to get out of the boat and push in the mud outside the algae until you reach the water, and then you could row around in the lake. So why we didn't put the algaecide down this year is because the water level was too low to get the boat in there. They did try it last week, and the boat was getting stuck. So we're going to have to kind of live with the algae this year until it goes through its natural cycle and it starts to die off. Doesn't look good right now, but it's there. But I think the plants that we plant on Silver Lake Island, I didn't think they'd do so well. They're doing great. So, good.
Thank you, Council. Council President Dyke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The ADA Committee's Caregivers Workshop on May 16th went well. A lively exchange of concerns and ideas took place during the meeting with representatives of assisted transitions and Family Resource Network participating. Also, Healthy Home, the event co-sponsored by Mayor's Wellness Campaign and the Belmar Women's Club, was informative and helpful. Staff from the Monmouth County Health Department gave an excellent presentation as to how to keep your home environment healthy and safe. This program took place on May 22nd. The Belmar Women's Club recently secured a grant from the General Federation of Women's Clubs for our Belmar Library. Since Sandy, the library is back totally up to speed. The $2,500 grant will be used to purchase new furniture for the library. Rosemary Papa, education chairperson for the club, and Rosemary Tormey, club president, were instrumental in applying for and receiving this grant. Mayor's Wellness Campaign is also organizing the Choose Your Cover free skin cancer screening event. Staff of Central State Medical Center of Freehold reaches out to me each year so that the program becomes a part of our important summer events. This will be Belmar's 4th year of participation. Physicians affiliated with Central State do the screenings with nurses on hand to assist and give out information. This year, the event will be held on Saturday, July 20th, from 11 to 3 on the beach at 5th Avenue. Tents will be placed there for the event. Lifeguards, beach attendants, badge checkers, and the general public are encouraged to take advantage of the program. In the past, we've had as many as 200 people get checked for skin cancer at this event. Also, backed by popular demand, the Mayor's Wellness Campaign's 6th annual health fair. The date is Sunday, September 22nd, also from 11 to 3 in the Borough Gymnasium. Ray Claudio, our recreation director, is working with me on this project. This program is always so well attended. We give out programs to keep track of the number of people who attend, and we always have over 100 people taking advantage of all that's available. People receive so much helpful health information and screenings such as blood pressure and glucose at this event. We hope that the Belmar Women's Club will once again have the Central Jersey Blood Center on hand with the Bloodmobile so that blood donations will again be part of the health fair. As Councilman McGovern said, the Harbor Commission met this past Monday. The South Comfort Station is now complete, with the North Station nearly complete. This structure should be ready for use in a couple of weeks. While much of the power at the marina has been restored, there are still areas that don't have power. Boat owners are being moved around to where slots are available. We're excited about the 9th Avenue Pier being open once again and having our residents enjoy the miniature golf course. It's important to note that the marina area was our salvation during post-Sandy, as debris was placed there. It's also important to note that there are problems still being addressed there. If there are trailers and machineries seen, there are reasons for this. Also, I want to report that the Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield sign-up for the Boardwalk Challenge was fantastic. We had 153 people sign up. The event goes from May 27th to September 2nd. People receive their pedometers, and the readings will take place June 10th and subsequently through the summer every other week. If anyone still wants to sign up, they can come June 10th at First and Ocean, and you'll be able to participate in the Boardwalk Challenge. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Also, I just wanted to say, I spoke to a few of the beach gate attendants, and they are just so thrilled that people are over the moon about the boardwalk, about the beach, and it was just so complimentary. And I've been on the boardwalk, and people come up to me and say, this is pretty amazing that all this was accomplished in the time allotted. So I just wanted to let you know that many people have commented to me how wonderful things are on the ocean front. Thanks to your leadership.
Councilman Meek.
Thank you, Mayor. Colleen, any more FEMA money come in?
Not since last meeting.
Since we didn't get any last meeting, you mean from 2 million?
Since you last asked me.
So 2 million came in up to this point, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. I'm surprised the water people. Fran, what's wrong with the water? We had a huge meeting last, you know, the guy here, how bad everything is, all of a sudden it's forgotten about. What's going on?
It's forgotten about it all.
Oh, I'm sorry, I think at this meeting, nobody brought it up. I thought that, honestly, I thought the water guy would be back in here.
We saw some substantial clearing in 2 separate areas, mostly around Surf in there, and Maplewood Road and Rhode Island Point is still experiencing some problems.
But they've been identified, and we're going to be addressing them later on this evening, I believe.
Identified, are they pipes?
Yeah, a lot of our infrastructure has to be replaced.
All right, so it's not the chemicals that they were putting in the water, is
I'm
what
not
we
saying that.
No, I think it's a combination of things, absolutely.
It's still too early to tell. We've identified some of our problems and we have to address them.
We kicked them.
American Water has not yet presented us with their full findings. They're coming to see Mike and I next week.
Okay. So we kicked all our wells more than weekends, is that correct?
They're about, yeah.
Prior to that.
Okay. All right, thank you. Update. Last thing I want to talk about, I want to address the mayor's rant for 13 minutes last week about me. I just want to say that I'd like to ask the mayor to keep politics in the newspaper and not to bring it to these council meetings. These council meetings are for the agenda, what we're going to do. And Mayor, if your sentence starts with, I want to address something in the newspaper, chances are it's political. I don't want to start a brouhaha in here. I've been very passive with your speech, and I did not respond. I thought I was really given a chance, but I think I might change that. But I don't want these council meetings to turn into yelling matches, so I'd like to ask that we just keep it to the agenda, keep politics out of this, and I'll actually give you